Okay, we're going to jump into the KPI section. So, KPIs, as we've talked in, we're going to be looking through it. What we're going to do at the moment is, right now you might be thinking, I don't have any KPIs in my business, I don't have anything like that. You might already have them, but you might not be aware of them. There might already be external software or companies that you're using that do have KPIs and you're just not tapping into them. Because there's a lot of software out there, if you are using things that already have information in there, you just need to know where to find it. So KPIs are key performance indicators. And what are they? So it's the measurable value that shows you how effectively your company is achieving its key business objectives. Now, for each of us, we will have different objectives that we want to know in our business. All of us definitely want to be knowing what's happening with our marketing as a KPI. If you're spending money, you need to know that money is well spent. Otherwise, you can find yourself being totally paralysed, pouring money into different advertising streams and not knowing whether it is or it isn't working. So everybody, you know, marketing is a big one. Another essential KPI is going to be your sales. If you're selling, which you all are, you want to be knowing what you're selling, what's the conversion rates of your sales. If you've got different people selling, you want to be knowing how effective they are. Are they burning leads? Are they generating the money? Is there any anomalies? It will start giving you information. Are there any days where sales are worse? Are there any times when sales are worse? So all of these things will start to give you, builds a picture, basically, of your business and going, that's the best, you know, sales rep, or that's the actual best time to sell, or this is the time of the day is better for taking calls, whatever that is in your business. Now, what you're going to do at the moment on the tables, individually first of all, is I want you to write down what key things you need to know in your business. And I'd also like you to, you know, think about what it is that you already track in your business. If it's 0, that's absolutely fine, because by the end of the day, you're going to start tracking things and you're going to start putting data together. Raise your hand just out of curiosity. Who right now has structured KPIs that they consistently fill in weekly? So yeah, some of us do have KPIs, which is great, and some of us, we don't have them, and this is what this is about. So you will not walk away today with it all wham, bam, thank you, ma'am, sorted, because it is a process and it's a system in your business and it takes time to do. Like I said, on Thursday I took myself away from a brown shoe day and I spent all day making a document for a member of staff for KPIs. The thing with it, I find, it isn't, you know, putting it in Excel, which is the difficult part. It's the actual looking and going, how can I make this document in a way that I can read it and it gives me the key information. So you'll all start to create your documents differently to give you what you need to know and how it, you know, what that means to you. So what I'm going to ask you to do is on your table to write down the things that you feel are important to track in your business. Okay? Because you'll all have different things. And then now what you want you to do after you've done that is share them with one another. And at the back of the room is a big flip chart there. So I'd like each table to grab a piece of paper and a pen and to write down what these things that they feel are key for their business, as in KPIs to be tracked. I've already given you a couple as I've just been speaking. And like I've said, we'll all have different things that we need to know in our businesses. And you might have things that you think is important and other people haven't realised, and they go, oh, actually that's something maybe I need to start pulling apart and getting into, knowing that key information. So guys, write down what you feel is important in your business separately, discuss it. Once you discuss it, somebody's going to be the person with the pen and write it all the things down on the pad, and then we'll come back together. So start brainstorming what you feel is important to know in your business.
We've stole a few and put them on the bottom of ours, so we just like a good copy. Sales, marketing, gross net profit, turnover, purchases, staff, average spend. This is a really important one for us. This is a bit of a worldie from us. A secondary spend. So we know our primary spend obviously is on admissions in the cafe, certainly in our businesses. But how can we, sell them stuff while they're there? So the secondary spend that we're selling them is balloons and party bags and that on the way out. That's actually seen a massive increase. So that could be a difference of about £500,000 throughout the year. Wet and dry split, so the drinks and the food. So what's the actual drinks purchases and what are the food purchases. Utilities, we need to know why we've got spikes at certain points of the year. Clearly, obviously, the winter months, if you've got a retail space or a unit, whatever, you might obviously be paying your bills throughout the roof during the winter months if you've got the gas on and whatnot. So looking at that and working that into your cash flow. Weekly bookings and take, your payroll bill, cost per leads, cost per hour, performance, potentially staff performance. Something that we can track is the performance of the guys on the day, who's doing the most running around within the on shift. So we can track that through the EPOS. Obviously your tills and whatnot that can track your obviously your products and whatnot. Competencies, absolutely love that one, Matt. So definitely we're going to be looking at that one. Best sellers, obviously pulling the full database off your EPOS system. Obviously QuickBooks and whatnot can track it, and CRM systems. So definitely doing as much data tracking off your off the CRM systems that you've got is really important.
Great, fantastic. Thank you. Thank you. Did anybody get other things from other people's brainstorms there that hadn't thought about? Yeah. And it's important to share those things because absolutely, you know, every business is different and we'll all have key things that we want as that metric in our business. Like a lot of people said customer satisfaction, they want to know, you know, what's happening with that, with our clients, you know, will they possibly come back? What's our retention rate? What's our secondary sell, our upsells that we're doing? Do you do them, you know, in your business? So you're able to track, like, just by doing an upsell can add so much more to your margin just because they're already there. And there's all those opportunities there, and these are things you need to be tracking and looking into. So there's a whole list there of things. I've just got a little list here of what to measure. Obviously, you've covered much more than this. So we said there marketing was covered by everybody. Cost per lead, your average sale price, you got that. Your product, your services, what's the best, which is the least. That, for me, was a massive eye-opener in the early days when I started to do my tracking, because it's easy to be blinded by the products which have the bigger dollar sign, so to speak. So like we would do huge refurbs and builds, and you could bring in jobs for like 250 grand, and then you'd be doing your damp jobs, you know, for like maybe, you know, 5 grand or 7 grand. So your 250 grand jobs very quickly kind of like, oh my God, this brings in all of this revenue. But when I started to track the actual products, the damp to the bricklaying and the whole renovation side of it, very quickly looking at the expenditure and the income and what was happening in it, I realised that just because it had a big price tag on it, by the time you put in all of the going back again, fixing things, it wasn't an in and out job, there was the customer satisfaction of the job being so long, I realised that the margins were higher on the damp than actually the whole conversion side of the business at that time. So very quickly, it is. And if you don't have the data though, I wouldn't have known, because I'm just looking at, this is what it's bringing in. You know, the big dollar sign at the front end of it. And when I looked, I thought, oh my God, we're running around like headless chickens. There's loads of subcontractors we're needing. There's all of this energy that goes into this for 6 weeks, 8 weeks. And at the bottom line, as a percentage of a margin for all of that, my damp, when my team are in and out within 2 days, wham, bam, thank you, ma'am, is more productive. So it allowed me very quickly. And we actually changed, Stephen and myself, we changed the way our business was. We knocked on the head, the construction side of it, all of it. We realised we were literally being busy fools with it. We were making profit, but it was squeezed. You know, by the time you got callbacks, things happening, things were overrunning, there's so many variables that are out of your control with it. So very quickly we changed, you know, by just looking at the products and what was happening with that, it gives a massive insight into our business and which was the best things for us. Because sometimes as you're scaling, your business can grow arms and legs, and this data allows you to know, is that the right area to be scaling in at that time? Conversion rate's massive, so you want to be knowing, you know, what you're selling with your conversion rates. And here, your ROI, you want to be tracking your return on investment. So if you're pouring money into anything, you want to be knowing, well, what's my ROI on that? So you want to be saying, if I'm pouring £1,000 into my advertising, what did I get back? Was it a loss? Was it a profit on that as well? You might even have it ROI based upon your commission structure of your reps. You want your reps, obviously, to be bringing in more than you're paying, and commission structure and everything like that.